By the way, thank you for kind words about what we're doing here. I really appreciate that.
Oh,
So
I get excited. When you guys come on and you start talking, it just makes me so excited that there are people out there doing the good work. And like, we get excited. So thank you.
good. No, I'm glad you're excited. I mean, we need as many excited people as we can. And that's actually an interesting thing, right, is that in this district, with a core group of about 30 to 40 volunteers and an extended group of volunteers, about 120, we're on the brink of accomplishing something truly historic. Because when I win, not only will it be beating the most powerful political machine in New Jersey, yes, we're going to do that with probably less than $50,000 to put in the youngest congressman since 1974. And that's something special and should show that across the country, it doesn't require hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to do something special in politics. And it doesn't require an army of thousands. You can do this. You can do this wherever you are. If you start early enough, you bring your message to enough people, and you get out there and actually talk to voters. So that's number one, answering your question.
Alex, I have to cut you off, Alex.
Sure.
You say you're running this campaign on $50,000?
Yeah, or less, probably.
No, seriously. Let's start over.
He needs to write an ebook or something.
Are you running this campaign this far, and you've done as much as you've done in less than $50,000?
Less than half of that right now. We have not spent. I don't think we've spent more than 1% of our time on fundraising. We've run this entire thing so far on the generosity of people like your listeners sending us $5, $10, $20 through our website. We've had over 1,500 people donate. But you know, the reality is, I made a decision early in this campaign that rather than going to talk to rich people and begging them to like me and to help me get into office, I was going to spend every single ounce of my time out there on people's doorsteps, knocking on doors and talking to real voters and real people. And through that, we've inspired so many volunteers to come in. We haven't had to pay for anything except for the 75,000 flyers that we've handed out, and our targeted mailers and some of our graphic work and stuff like that. But in general, we've been able to do this so efficiently because so many people believe in what we're doing here, and because we've put in place the kind of organizational structure that can capture anyone's energy. If you have time and you have energy, you want to give it to us, we will find a way to get you to help us here. So, you know, my plan all along was, you know, yes, if we get 100,000, that's what we do. If we get 150, 200,000, whatever, that would be great. But we can execute on my plan with anywhere from $40,000 to $50,000. And that's a plan that anyone can take anywhere across the country and be successful in a primary.
You know what, and Anoa, I apologize because I haven't let him get to the second part about Black Lives
You're fine.
But right that portion right there was worth all the time that I could give you tonight and every time that I could bring you back.
No,
so
it was,
talk about your model. Number one, we need to help you win. All right.
We do.
So I'm reaching out to my listeners, to my followers on Twitter. I want to see somebody make it to Congress. And of course, every district is different, but the strategy is not different. He's not spending money in a market running television ads. He's knocking on 9,000 doors. $50,000 compared to a race that I worked on in South Florida, a candidate running against the lady who wears the hat in Congress. What is her name? Frederica Wilson. I was working on the opposition candidate, Rudy Moise. I shouldn't have said his name. I said it anyway. Oh, well. With like a $3 million campaign, and he still lost to Frederica Wilson, and you are giving this incumbent a run for his money for less than $50,000. What you're doing, one, we need to help you win. Two, we need a model, and we need to replicate across the country for everyone who's feeling down and out. There is a model to be used that can fight back against the system. All right.
Well, let me just tell you, if you give me $3 million, I could beat anyone in the United States. So that's number one. But no, in all seriousness, here's the thing. It's so crucial that we win this, not because we got to get Norcross. Yes, that's important. Not because Alex Law's got to get in there. Yes, that's important. But one thing that is so crucially important with our race is what we want to do is create this model, this $50,000 model, that we can train young people or progressives across the country every single cycle. And it is not hard once you're in Congress to find $50,000 to give to these candidates. And we can set up exciting, young, progressive candidates all across the country to go and run and make a difference where they are. And one cynical thing I would say is that unless we win, people will not pay attention to this model. If we do really well, if we come in second by this much, which I can't see a scenario where it's either we're going to lose by a little or we're going to win by a little. It's going to be very close. But if we lose by a little, by those 500 votes that your listeners could have made the difference making phone calls, or I could have spent an extra day out there knocking on doors, people will not listen to this model. They'll write it off as, hey, it didn't work, even though we are doing something that no one in the history of South Jersey has done, taking on these guys. And we're being so successful with it through this model, through this efficiency. So when we win, that is part of our plan, to put it together and to train people all across the country.
Okay, Alex, I've had you on, man. Listen, thanks so much for your time. I don't want to hold you too much longer. Everyone has his website. I am fascinated with this $50,000 model because it is unheard of. It is obscene. It is disgusting what you're doing over there with $50,000, and it needs to be replicated across the country. And you're right. If you lose, people are going to turn away from it. I won't, personally, but your average person would turn away from it. We need to help you win. Everyone listening, I am urging you, if you want to see how a grassroots movement can win, let's look at Alex Law. Go to his website. You decide for yourself if you're going to contribute time, money, or your talent. That's your choice. But I think it's something that's worth investigating. Alex, I want to have you back a little bit more.
We'll talk Black Lives Matter. We'll talk all the progressive issues you want next time.
Yeah, tonight is about strategy because it's a lot of people who are.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
that was
a lot of
really,
people
really
are
good.
down about what to do tomorrow, and the truth about what you're saying is it had to have started almost last year, and from there we know what to do. So, Alex, listen, thanks so much for the time, man. My computer finally rebooted, so I wanted to give you this, and thank you for coming on, and definitely we want to get you back whenever we can get you back, man.
Okay, good. I'll be back soon, and we'll talk policy.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Law, go to his website. I'm going to tweet him, and I want you to follow him on Twitter, and we will go from there. All right, I have a caller who's been patient.